How many times do you allow your child to fail walking before you tell them to give up? How many times? They'll keep walking a step, two, they fall, they try again, they fall, they fall, they fall. How many times before then we decide actually walking is not for you, child, and just sit down there on the sofa and play with your toys, and that's you for the rest of your life? We don't do that, do we? Yet, when we become adults, we almost put ourselves in doubt and actually give ourselves too much information to be successful. Now, I know that's kind of a strange subject or a question that I put there because you probably think you don't know enough and you're gathering and gathering and gathering and gathering more and more information to be successful. And you see other people doing it, they're having multiple businesses, millions of pounds, and you're thinking, what is it they know that I don't know? Why is it that I'm constantly failing and it seems like these people are just having wins after wins and after wins? Why is that? I'm going to discuss an interesting subject, which is you probably know too much, like most adults, and there's going to be a few things that are keeping you back. Number one, knowing too much information. There's a syndrome called I already know that syndrome. You might have this, by the way. Imagine you go to a seminar, which we've all been to many seminars, then the speaker is talking about social media, and you think, I already know that, right? I'm not even going to pay attention here. I already know what this guy is going to say about social media. So the speaker goes on, tells you a few strategies, a few updates on social media, and you think that was a waste of time. That was a waste of 2 hours of my time. I already know that. But the question is, are you doing it consistently throughout your business, throughout your life? Are you doing it consistently? And instead of having that I already know that attitude, which a lot of us do have, to some really basic concepts. Business is not difficult. It's not difficult. Some really, really basic concepts. And we think we already know that, therefore we have to go gather new, more complex, more advanced strategies. There was one of my entrepreneur friends I was speaking to just yesterday, and they had invested in a program that had spent tens of thousands of pounds investing in programs. And when I had a look at the program, what was involved in it was so much detail, so many courses, so many modules that I can see why they are not having success or why they're stressed out. Because they paid a lot of money to get the answers. Instead, they just got a whole bunch of more information. Instead of getting a straight through a plan, a step by step guide how to do it, they just got given. Imagine you get given a whole dissertation or a whole university course. This is maybe why university is not it's not for everybody, I guess, because they just dump loads and loads of information on you, but they don't give you a kind of straightforward path. For example, people that have went to university and they have all this information and they come out and now they're in the workplace, they're still beginners. They still start back at level one again, compared to somebody who has, instead of spending 4 years at university, has went 4 years into the workplace, and then they slowly get step by step guide how to do that next task. The very next day, they get a bit of task, a bit of information, they move forward. So after 4 years, who is more valuable to the economy, a graduate or someone with 4 years worth of work experience? Now, society norms would tell you that the graduate is more valuable because they went to university, but in reality, it is the person who's worked 4 years in the workplace, who's got 4 years of experience, of know-how, real life experience. In my humble opinion, and I'm somebody who's went to university and I've seen graduates that are way far in advance in management positions purely based on their life experience. When you come out of university, the first thing they always ask is, do you have experience? And the answer is no. All we have is theory and knowledge. And you, as an entrepreneur just now, or someone who's looking to make that move into entrepreneurship and start your own business and get that freedom, is the information you have is probably scattered and too much. It's not step by step. It's not in alignment with what it is you're looking for. You probably just gathered lots and lots of information from lots of different avenues as well. So I already know that syndrome is one of the key aspects is what's holding you back. It holds a lot of people back, and even to this day, experienced entrepreneurs, I already know that syndrome. Make sure you're not falling for that. Comment for adults, they overanalyze. This is number two, they overanalyze every single decision. Whilst a child would just get up and do it, right? They just want to figure out how to swim, they just get chucked in and then they figure it out. Adult overanalyzes. What's that saying? Over analysis, paralysis, you basically do nothing because you're thinking about it. You start thinking about how many businesses have failed ahead of you, how many, the stats. businesses, there is a high stat on how many businesses fail per year, and just I'm not even going to tell you because now you probably get worried. You can Google it, but those stats don't matter because that person that opened that business, that started that business, isn't somebody who is focused on one thing. They're focused on a whole bunch of things. They're thinking about all the failures. They're letting people around them influence their success. If I'm honest with it, they're over analyzing every single decision. See, the entrepreneurs that you see are successful are actually quite silly because they just do one thing. Like myself, I don't focus on lots and lots of different businesses. I'm just doing one little boring business online, and that creates the lifestyle that I'm looking for, and that's it. You there was an entrepreneur I spoke to. Oh my goodness, 2 weeks ago, and they said they had 10 businesses. That's too many business. That's just silly. I should have asked how much money are they making. How are you doing 10 businesses? That's just over overstimulation, over too much knowledge, too much, just everything. What you want is one key, simple business model, something that you understand, something that you enjoy, and focus on that. So you don't want to start thinking all the failures as well. Kids just start. Adults want guarantees. Honestly, adults just want guarantee. Anytime I speak to someone about starting a new business, they just want to, they basically want a guarantee. What's that called? What is work that you do with a guaranteed income at the end of the month? What's that called? It's a job, right? That's what they're wanting. That's not entrepreneurship. It's not guaranteed. And honestly, I had so many people that I want to start business and they just keep asking me, what's the chances? When will I get my money back? What's this? What's that? That's not how this works. So stop looking for guarantees and start jumping in and just start doing. Number three, stop using the past as an example or as an excuse for what's going to happen in the future. When we speak to people about social media, oh, that was sold 2008. Oh, that was sold 2010, 2015. They always give me dates in the past that that's it, finished. I remember there's a program called Amazon FBA, Amazon Fulfilled by Amazon. That's where sellers are buying and selling things on Amazon, and the owner of the product is an individual like you and I. It's not Amazon themselves. It's called Amazon FBA. You can check it out. It's a program. I looked into it in 2018, and I said to myself, "This is too old. Like Amazon is 2016 time. This is now 2018, 19. This is the worst time to get started on Amazon. It's not going to work." Now, if I had started in 2018, COVID came, and since 2018, there's been countless millionaires made on Amazon because of COVID and everybody was shopping online and all that kind of stuff. You always think it's too late. Even right now, you probably, whatever strategy, whatever business you're thinking of, you're probably thinking, ah, it's already been done before. It's too late. It's too late. But then just wait until 2035. You're thinking, I should have started in 2025. That was the golden era. Or whatever it is that you're thinking about, what business, what strategy you're thinking about right now, you're thinking, time has passed. I should have done it then. Trust me, it's not too late. You could in 10 years' time, you're going to be thinking 2025. Wow, that was the time to rock and roll. Always, I had that same experience. So now I don't start thinking about the past. Oh, that failed then, so it's not going to work now. Those tools are old. It's business is serving other human beings. Are the desires of the human beings from 10 years ago the same? Do they still want success? Do they still want to be fit? Do they still want to sort out their mentality? If you're some life coach, if you're helping people with get over their fears, anxieties, are those things still the same as 2015? The chances are they're still going to be the same in 2035, 2055. They're going to be exactly the same. I had that issue with Amazon. If I had jumped in Amazon 2018, when I was genuinely thinking about it, I bought the product, but I didn't dive in because I was like, well, that's it. It's old news now. And that is, again, one of the problems. You know too much. You see lots of other people having success and you think, well, there's nothing left in it for me. That's it. It's done. It's washed up so many times. Property, how about that? Property, Airbnb in your area, you think it's all washed up, it's saturated. And then if you actually got into it, you would see that, well, actually, there's a bit of money here, I could be making some money as well. Instead, you start thinking, everyone's in it. I had it in my local area, there was a time where Uber kicked off in every city. I'm sure you've experienced it as well. Uber, 1 minute it was black taxis, next it was Uber. And all these people are telling me, oh, Uber was great in 2015, 16. Now it's saturated, and there was a young guy that I know that got into taxis like recently, like we were talking about 2023, 24. He's making a killing. He's like, I don't know what all the fuss is about. Everyone's telling me that it was all washed up. Just went in ahead and done it. That was it. Stop over analyzing and stop using the past as an excuse for you to move forward. Simple as that. Number four, stop closing the door too early. You're not giving enough time for you to see the improvement in your business and let it ramp up slowly but surely. For example, how many people that you know, maybe it's yourself, either start a project and stop too soon, like a YouTube channel. A YouTube channel takes a long time for it to grow. People start, put a couple of videos out, nothing, no traction, and then they just stop. You know, Mr. Beast with Jimmy, who is the most popular YouTuber in the world. Google it, Mr. Beast. It took him 12 years of making videos before he popped off and he's massive and a billionaire now. 12 years. And this is on something called YouTube back in the day where this monetization wasn't such a big thing. 12 years he was just making video after video, getting better, getting better. Whilst for us, we just want to post a couple of things out and then wonder our business isn't doing so great, so we just move on. Yeah, that's fine. That is just the silliest kind of concept is if it's not worked after 2 months, 3 months, I'm just gonna give up. And it goes to the other point of knowing too much. You know too much because your research, you went to so many different conferences that you think, okay, this speaker, I'm going to listen to this speaker for the next 6 months. If nothing happens, I'm going to move to the next speaker for the next 6 months, and then keep moving like that. And your whole life is a series of 6 months of new projects. Stop getting too much information, buckle down, follow one concept, and follow it to the finish until you start getting success. Stop jumping business models and ideas. That's what we teach you here on the Everyday Entrepreneurs. We have one simple business model, create very simple website, sell it, your knowledge in your head, and I don't overcomplicate it with giving you lots of strategies and even having to build anything. We build it all for you. All you have to focus on is just making content. It's so easy. You talk about content that you're involved in, that you're interested in, even content like you don't even know yet, but you're researching something you're interested in. So click on the link around this video and come into our entrepreneurship community. We get rid of all the fluff and we just tell you it's simple. Do this, do this, do this. So all this overthinking that you've been doing so far in your career is out the window. Do this, do this, do this, do this. Honestly, sometimes we are so doing too much. I'm just reminded of the entrepreneur that I was speaking to the other day who had bought a course for thousands, and honestly, it was like a whole directory of videos you had to watch, and I'm like, even for me, I'm quite technically savvy. Looking at that was just too much information, so I can see why. So if you want to get rid of all that nonsense, click on the link underneath this video, around this page, join us in our entrepreneurship community, and we'll give you a step-by-step guide how to become successful. And you just need to follow that plan. You don't have to do any thinking, no more research. Number 5 is one we've all struggled with: protecting your ego. So someone starts a business, it failed, and then what do they say? Oh, I knew that was never going to work. Instead of learning from the experience, they start just putting like a blocker in front of their ego because they failed. But instead of taking the fail as a learning opportunity, they just say, I'm not going to start. I'm not going to do that again. That was my ego. I don't want family and friends to see that I failed. The person who's going to be the most successful is one that has no shame of failing, that is not embarrassed of failing, that doesn't care what other people think. That is the key, not caring what other people think. Now, it's easier said than done because let's be honest, we're human beings and we all do care what other people think. But think and stopping you from doing action is completely different. You can be aware what people think, but is it going to stop you from action? It's up to you. That's what stops people from failing. I know personally on social media. They don't want to be seen on social media starting a new business, launching it, and then 6 months later it fails. Somebody like myself, I'm shameless. That's a reason for my success. I don't really care. I can talk to people on social media. I can start businesses. I can fail with businesses. People have seen me grow in the last 10 years that personally around me, and they continue not to start businesses even though they see all the failures that I went through, the stumbling block, but yet the ego stops them from trying because they don't want to fail. They would rather stick to their corporate job, their 9 to 5, and be struggling, whilst at the same time I'm like close family member or a close friend, and they see me progressing. And now we don't even talk about business because I think it makes them feel quite bad that, well, look, I'm doing all these changes. I've moved to a different country. We're in the south of Spain at the moment, uh, enjoying weather, and they are going to. We just don't talk about business anymore, because there's no point. Because all I can talk about is my wins, my successes, and all they can talk about is if they're getting a promotion or the next annual leave holiday and all these kind of things. We're kind of on two different levels, so we don't talk about that anymore. But all because I'm willing to put myself out there and not let ego get in the way. So let me ask you directly: the reason why you don't want to try a new business is the ego. You don't want your family to see you fail. Is that the reason? You're not willing to take the learnings from failures that you've had in the past, because if you don't, then it was a complete waste of money and a waste of time. But just think the things that you've learned in that previous failure, that now you should be a little bit stronger to go forward as well. Honestly, ego, cut the ego, and you're gonna have a way more success. Ego that's stopping you is humility. Humility is like humbleness. Humbleness for I've seen so many trainers or so many people that I want to become fit not hire trainers. Why? Because they're like, well, I kind of already know too much. For me, everything I want to do in life has teacher, has a coach. I've got a personal trainer right now at the gym. I've got someone who's helping me. I play the musical instrument, saxophone. I've got a trainer for that. I have, who else do I have? I've got two fitness trainers actually. I've got one that helps me out in the gym and one for cardio. So we do things like swimming, we do running. Yesterday I joined a running club because sprinting is what I need to do. More sprinting, not just like a random jog, which is nice and casual. I need to do intense sprints. So I just joined a running club. Like that's all they do. I imagine a running club. Once you sprint, what else are you going to do? They're going to turn around and do another sprint. Right? There's not any other activities they can do. So I joined these clubs as well. There's a few more. I forgot exactly areas of my life. I've got a language teacher I'm learning Arabic. I've got a language teacher. I've got a lesson with him actually in about an hour's time. I've got who else do I have now? I've got a business coach, a business consultant as well. Like so many aspects of my life. I I'm humbled in the way that I say, well, okay, I don't know that, I want more. And even the really successful people that are worth like hundreds of thousands, millions of pounds, have coaches to get them to the next level. Yet people that are like down here in society that have like zero net worth, zero income, zero not everything is like zero. Everything's zero. They don't want to invest in themselves. They'd rather go and invest in a £2,000 holiday, or go buy some cigarettes, or invest in by going to the movies. But they don't, you know what I mean? It's very strange that, isn't it? Someone who's already got success pays someone to have more success. Somebody down here doesn't believe in it. They don't want to pay for any coaching at all. We're talking about any type of one-to-one assistance from somebody who can get them over the line, and so they can learn from their experience, a decade of that person's experience. They could read it in a book. Well, how much does a book cost nowadays? £10, $10, something like that. Less than that. That is somebody's whole life compressed into a small book that you could be reading and then taking some lessons from it. However, we are sometimes not humble, or come with humility that we should come and be like, yeah, we need this information, and then be able to apply it. So we need to also be able to humble ourselves as well. And it only seems like it's somebody who is successful, then they humble themselves, while somebody in the positions that is quite corporate specifically, I see this in corporate people a lot, that they refuse to get coaches. They refuse to go forward in a way where they're gonna benefit or pay somebody else for their time. They're trying to just like hoard all the money and all the resources to themselves. That's not how you become successful, honestly. My final ideas are, there's a quote here that I found which is, I love it. It says, you could say the beginner has curiosity and energy, the expert has caution and excuses. Sometimes the only way forward is to forget what you know and act like it's day one again. That's what I suggest to you. Act like it's day one again. Scrub the too much information that you've got in your head. Join us in our community below. Step forward plan. Honestly, so simple. So simple. Follow. You don't have to think. Stop overthinking. Stop analyzing. Stop looking at the past. Everything we've just spoken about. Stop thinking about all of that. We'll give you a step-by-step plan. So many entrepreneurs have had success by just following a proven plan. Stop trying to figure everything out and come up with your own unique. You don't get brownie points. That's another thing. You don't get brownie points for coming up with a new way of winning. People follow things like the FBA, the Amazon FBA. There's like a roadmap to success. People try to. I was doing this first as well. I was like, that's too easy. I'm going to come up with an unusual marketing strategy. I'm going to do this differently. I'm going to email people in a weird way. Guys, it's literally a template on any business model that you're looking for. There's a template how to do it of someone else who's had success. Follow the template. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. That's what we do here. Join us, our entrepreneurship community. I will take you by the hand with force through this, step by step. Do no thinking of your own, and I'll see you in that community. And I look forward to welcoming you and your success.